ʻhɛsi.ən. Burlap in America and Canada, or crocus in Jamaica, is a woven fabric usually made from skin of the jute plant or sisal fibres, which may be combined with other vegetable fibres to make rope nets and similar products. Gunny cloth is similar in texture and construction. Hessian, a dense woven fabric, has historically been produced as a coarse fabric, but more recently it is being used in a refined state known simply as jute as an eco-friendly material for bags, rugs and other products. The word burlap is of unknown origin, though its earliest known appearance is in the late 17th century, and its etymology is speculated to derive from the Middle English borel, the Old French burel and or the Dutch boeren, in the latter case perhaps interfused with boer. The second element, lap, means piece of cloth. The name Hessian is attributed to the use of the fabric, initially, as part of the uniform of soldiers from the former Landgraviate of Hesse and its successors in interest, whose people were called Hessians. History: Hessian was first exported from India in the early 19th century. It was traditionally used as backing for linoleum, rugs and carpet. In Jamaica and certain parts of the Caribbean, many enslaved Africans who used to work on the plantations were not often given pleasant materials with which to make clothes. Some had access to cotton, which was spun, woven, cut and sewn into serviceable clothing, whilst others had to make do with clothing fashioned from roughly hewn sacking. Enslaved Africans used the resourcefulness to recycle discarded sacking and fashion them into garments that, although fairly uncomfortable by all accounts, provided protection from the heat and dust. A traditional costume of Jamaican maroons uses fabric very similar to this material as a way of drawing an affinity and pay homage to the resourcefulness and creativity of their enslaved ancestors who gained freedom. For the rest of the population, it is used to make bags for carrying loads of coffee and other items edible or not. Uses: shipping and construction. Hessian is often used to make sacks and bags to ship goods such as coffee beans and rooibos tea. These contrivances are known as gunny sacks. It is breathable and thus resists condensation and associated spoilage of contents. It is also durable enough to withstand rough handling in transit. These properties have also led to its use for temporary protection as wet covering, to prevent rapid moisture loss in the setting of cement and concrete in the construction industry. Hessian is also commonly used to make effective sandbags. Hessian sacks filled with sand are often used for flood mitigation in temporary embankments against flood waters or field fortifications. Hessian is also often used for the transportation of unprocessed dry tobacco. This material is used for much the same reasons as it would be used for coffee. Hessian sacks in the tobacco industry hold up to 200 kilograms of tobacco, and due to Hessian's toughness, a Hessian sack can have a useful life of up to 3 years. Landscaping and agriculture. Hessian is used to wrap the exposed roots of trees and shrubs when transplanting, and also for erosion control on steep slopes. Apparel. Due to its coarse texture, it is not commonly used in modern apparel. However, this roughness gave it a use in a religious context for mortification of the flesh, where individuals may wear an abrasive shirt called a cilice or hair shirt, and in the wearing of sackcloth on Ash Wednesday. Owing to its durability, open weave, naturally non-shiny refraction, and fuzzy texture, ghillie suits for 3D camouflage are often made of Hessian. It was also a popular material for camouflage scrim on combat helmets during World War II, until the advent of the plastic, leafy, multicolor net system following the Vietnam War. Burlap scrim was also woven onto shrimp and fish netting to create large-scale military camouflage netting. During the Great Depression in the U.S., cloth became relatively scarce in the largely agrarian parts of the country. Many farmers used burlap cloth to sew their own clothes. However, sensitive skin's prolonged exposure to the material can cause rashes. In art, Hessian has been used by artists as an alternative to canvas as a stretched painting or working surface. In horror fiction, it is commonly used as a mask and as a mask for victims of beheading. Emergency flood response. Hessian bags are often deployed as sandbags as a temporary response to flooding. Because of the material, they can either be reused or can be composted after use. Agencies like the State Emergency Service in Australia and Technisches Hilfswerk in Germany often deploy sandbags, and these are found in the majority of their emergency response vehicles. Plastic bags have been used as a substitute, but SES units have found Hessian bags to be more versatile as they can be used in a variety of rescue applications. As an edge protector for rope rescue operations, for use as padding on slings used in animal rescue, are used to dampen and beat out bushfires. In beekeeping, Hessian fabric is often used as smoker fuel in beehive tending because of its generous smoke generation and ease of ignition.